You know, I just realized I don't remember if I was truly sick of zombie apocalypse movies prior to the actual apocalypse. Huh. Isn't that funny? I imagine these quasi-nihilistic end-of-days gallows humor gags might feel strange in the context to viewers in smart, intelligently managed parts of the world that are already partway to the other side of this thing, but I'm not in one of those, so just trying to laugh through another week. Saw coyotes yesterday. Blood Quantum is an end-of-the-world zombie outbreak movie that is, among other things, very smart and respectful of its audience's intelligence vis-a-vis the fact that not only horror fans are likely to have seen plenty of zombie movies, but also, like, The Walking Dead has been on TV fucking forever at this point, so pretty much everybody knows how this is going to go down and can skip over the everybody knows how this works parts and get right to the new, different, interesting parts, of which there are a lot. Short version, we're in rural Canada in an alternate timeline 1981, where at some point not long before the start of the film, but far from where our main story's starting on, something has gone down that's caused the dead to rise as flesh-eating zombies that spread zombieism virally through bites, and since this is all breaking out pre-internet mass communication, human civilization pretty much does not stand a chance, and we're in full-bore post-apocalypse survivors building communities in fortified frontier strongholds mode pretty much by the start of Act 2 mere months later. Now, this is all staged really cool with the familiar beats, background noise of police band chatter, crazy guys that turn out to be way more than just crazy, and the inevitable guy suddenly bursting through the emergency room doors telling everyone to run, and drunk drifter and lockup being way more than drunk actually, sequences that are all given the kind of slickly executed polish where you go, yeah, it's a greatest hits of zombie movies, but they're playing them really well. Plus the actual first thing that ain't right reveal that something's going wrong is so nifty and original, I pretty much sat up and went, oh shit, this is gonna be good, isn't it? Like right the hell away. But the real immediate standout that continues on into the broader narrative that makes this not just a terrific horror film, but something genuinely groundbreaking, and not just in the obvious way, is its main conceit and setting. While the zombie plague is that evidently ravaging the entire world, our focus begins and stays all but exclusively within and with the residents of the Red Crow, a small First Nations Indigenous Native Peoples Reservation whose experience of the outbreak ends up differing from the rest of the world in exactly one respect. By unexplained, apparently genetic quirk of fate, the tribe on this reservation are immune to the plague. They can get bitten without becoming zombies, and it's possible they're the only people on Earth for whom that's the case. And so we have our setup, an above-ground takeoff on the Day of the Dead zombie apocalypse as wilderness fort with winter coming riff, with the additional genre tweaking of the folks in charge of the fort being Native North Americans, and thus the historic value of Blood Quantum to be the first big-scale indigenous zombie epic, featuring a big and impressive cast of First Nations and Native American actors, making either their film debut or close to it, and certainly having not appeared in roles this prominent or as leads before for the most part. Then if you're thinking, hey, a scenario where First Nations people are now in charge of the last outpost of human civilization and would have to make decisions about whether to take in non-immune survivors rescued from outside, considering how other people in the world have let things be for them over the centuries, plus the whole obvious allegories and metaphors for plagues and colonialism, gee, you think the movie might be about something other than zombies as well? And yes, that's in there, but part of what's both thrilling and fascinating about the film is that while it's easy to imagine the same premise and setup, especially weighted with the cultural baggage being the first of its kind, the knowledge of how indigenous characters have been played for villains or buffoons in the genre previously, etc., being executed in more of a somber, solemn, art house type tone, heavy on the meditative dialogue and academic pretense, plausibly even to good effect, but Blood Quantum, even as it's more than prepared to grapple with the bigger questions its premise sets up and the bold statements that its protagonists make, frankly, just by existing, also wants to kick ass, and it's a good decision because this movie kicks some ass. I mean, straight up, this movie is one of the best zombie flicks of the 21st century, right up there with Train to Busan, and it's precisely because it's a total hat trick. It's doing something not only different but noble and important by giving the spotlight to a whole cast of hero characters you just never see in roles like this. It's smart and thoughtful while not being preachy and stultifying, and it's also hell-bent on delivering top-tier, no bullshit, blood-splattering, gut-munching, gore-spewing, chainsaw, shotgun, samurai sword, battle axe, whatever the hell else is there they got horror mayhem, because who the hell decided you can't do all of that at once? There's terrific scares, really good gore, unexpected plot turns, a well-balanced set of storylines, surprisingly large cast of well-developed characters, almost like they wanted to make sure if they only got to do this once, they broke every piece of ground they could while they were here. I mean, you hear a premise for this and you think, oh wow, you know, if they do this right and there's one really standout cool guy with a cool zombie killing weapon, he becomes like the indigenous version of Ash, right? But then the actual movie has like 3 or 4 guys who could all be that, plus well-developed women, younger and older actors, and some very nasty zombies as well. Honestly folks, I can't recommend Blood Quantum enough, because really in the context of what do you want out of a zombie movie, it does damn near everything I could hope for it to do right. There's nothing really wrong with this. I could quibble about the length of this or that scene, some uneven tonal business, but they'd be minor criticisms next to how much fun it is to just watch this on its own, and how satisfying it is to see something where you can just tell everyone involved was trying to do something special, gave it their all, left everything on the field, and it actually paid off. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Blood Quantum. This is currently streaming on the Shudder Horror channel in the US, has other distribution avenues worldwide with greater options apparently to come down the line. Definitely check this one out, one of the best films of the year so far. See it as soon as you can.